Good morning. It's Monday, April 8th. April 8th. Do 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 do. Hoofa. Let's see, live. We're going to turn on monetization on this. And then we're going to do some scans. Because today, less news, more scans. We're going to open up Savvy Trader. So we can see earnings this week. We'll go to earnings. SharpLink Gaming expected to no expected. Let's see. Do we have anything? I mean, Friday is all the banks. Yeah. Let's see. Wednesday is Delta. Let me see. Why do I have notifications on? Let's see. Oh, come on. View your channel. Okay. Ooh. Okay, APALD. Apply digital. What's after the bell? Rent the runway. Pure Cycle, Lakeland Industries, Constellation Brands. Thursday. See. JPM. BlackRock. Citi. We don't have anything after the bell on Friday. Okay. Not too many people joining live today. It's 9 o'clock, so it's a little later. Let's get our scans going. We got a lot of scans. LLY. Eli Lilly. Ooh. Anybody watch The Munsters? Hello, Lily. Morning, Chris. Morning, Emmer. Anybody get Bitcoin? I need to bring up Bitcoin. We got no Bitcoin. Core investments we already did. There's not going to be much here, I don't think. And my apologies for not being around much. But I worked in 3 days, 38 hours. It was mostly sitting around, but it looks douchey if I work on my newsletter, Morning Scott, and do crap like that while I'm being paid by Major League Soccer. And FYI, the Major League Soccer, they're so much fun to work with. I mean, they really are. But paid newsletter subscribers got a look into, ooh, that's interesting. See, Limited, XPEV, and Marriott. Marriott's run, I think. Yeah. XPEV has not. XPEV is interesting. Seem Limited has been seen a good pullback. This one started to turn. I mean, look at this one. I mean, weekly kind of just found its legs. We'll look at that one a little more in depth. Morning, Mark. I'm still waking up. I got home at 11 o'clock last night. I played Topgolf for the first time. Let me see. Does Topgolf have, I think, Topgolf Callaway brands? I am ready to buy this stock after yesterday. Oh my freaking God. This was amazing. I'm a golfing snob, and I said there is no way. Morning, Alberto. And I said there is no way Topgolf is fun. It's douchey. There's a bunch of people that don't, know how to play golf and blah, blah, blah. Man, I was wrong. How do we not have DraftKings on a watch list? Hold on. I got to put that on the watch list. We trade this one too much. Yeah, that's got to be in a I don't know if I still own it. I believe I own a little bit of it because I still have it in my trading portfolio. Okay, let's look at the Dow. Jim Cramer's on. Anything in the Dow? Travelers, insurance, and wow, being in. I had some good discussions with some Florida folks about insurance. Crazy, the insurance that these guys are paying down there. Crazy insurance. BKR. And let's go to the S&P. We're at 907. Okay. I got time. Morning, Q. Lily. That's the only S&P 100. Wow. Let's go back to the strategy tester. Yes. And we will go to the 4-hour. Yes. Apple's just got. Oof. How did Apple not show up when it's got a cross up there? Hold on. How did that not show up? Hold on. We're going to go core investments. Was I on the right one? Oh, I think I was on the right one. Pretty sure I was on the right one. This episode is all about you. It's about all the requests that everybody made while I was gone, because there were quite a few. So, Caesars, ARBE, Do you ever trade options? Curious about Hershey's, Taylor, Bullish Bites, MPC, Energy, Elf, Biogen, NVIDIA, Verve, EA, APP, App11, Workhorse, Snowflake, and Gold. Starbucks I like. Yeah, I'll take a look at Starbucks. I'll add Starbucks. You know what, Alberto? I'll add Starbucks into the show. Why is this not working now? Stop. Hold on, we're gonna reload this mofo and go into scanners, the 65-minute scanner, and core investments. Eli Lilly, the only one. Why is Apple not showing up? That is strange. Strange, but I trust it. I know it's working. Dun, 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 dun. Apple right there. Let's see. Any pre-market huge movers? Nothing crazy. We've got a 1.9% move in SMCI, 2% move in Tesla, 2% move in Taiwan Semi. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I've got. Let's go. Okay. We'll just open this up. We're going to open this up. What is this? I don't even know. I put some stuff in there. All these stuff, 52-week highs. This is all Friday stuff, I think. Buying the Bollinger Band on NVIDIA has been extremely good. There's got to be another trend spider. No. Oh. Yeah, Tesla. And then we're going to put NASDAQ, the earnings calendar, and I do want a Bitcoin story. Because Bitcoin's going nuts. Oh, city's largest tech. Yeah. I like these articles. We'll put this right down here. So this will go after earnings. And then I want a Bitcoin story because Bitcoin's going nuts. Tesla rises after robotaxi development while Uber and Lyft fall. That's probably a good story for Uber because Uber's in the core portfolio as well. So we're going to put that with, where is Elon Musk? That's the top one. We're going to put that there. We'll put that there. This is the loveliness of seeking alpha is you just get brought down this crazy CloudX, MicroStrategy, apartment income, marathon and premium market gainers. There we go. That's it. Crypto heats up. And we're going to start this. Okay. Okay. Wah. There we go. We'll start this mofo. I'm on Do Not Disturb, so. Eclipse at 2 p.m. today. Okay. And I want to check, did we have that engulfing candle? Yeah. Okay. Okay, no, here we go. Let's hit the record button. Good morning. It is Monday, April 8th. I am back. And what am I bringing back? End of the world eclipse today at 2 p.m. If you are like Trump and everybody tells you not to look into the eclipse, just Google it. Dude was standing on top of the White House looking right at the eclipse without the glasses. I do not suggest it. I think if you're a dumbass, you probably do it. You got to put it in your mind. You do not do it. Do not do it. Do not do it. And then you're going to do it. So that's just kind of the way it goes. Either way. So I was at MLS in Orlando for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, working. My apologies. I have a bunch of emails to get back to. I have a bunch of TrendSpider signups. I have a bunch of people that just asked me questions, but this show mainly is going to be about you. All of the questions that you asked me while I was gone, I've got about 10 or 15 social requests, so we're going to look at that. But let's look at what happened last week. We had a down week. Last week, we opened at 444 on the Qs. We closed at 441, 4 points. Not crazy. We'll go back into the 4 hour. This is how you look at the stock market. Look at how high the MACD is. Look at how high the RSI is. The RSI is in oversold territory at 60, 65. It's coming off of 74. So it's just kind of capitulating. It's just there. This entire week, the entire week is based on Wednesday and CPI. The entire week is based. There are earnings that are coming out. Doesn't matter. The entire week is on CPI. Bond rates will rule. Jamie Dimon came out with his annual shareholder letter this morning. Bond rates will rule how this market goes. Whether the Fed is going to reduce rates will rule this market. For the first time, June is below a 50% chance of raise on a survey from CNBC. I heard it this morning. So we're kind of in this no man's land. Hey, where do we go? What are we going to do? Big earnings start on Friday with the banks. We'll go over more of that. But this is the weekly of the Qs. You can clearly see right here at 386, there is support at this. This is the absolute bottom. That would be an enormous way down. Right now, if you got to this support level right here, which was resistance, that would be a 12% drop. I do not expect us to drop 12%. I absolutely do not expect us to drop 12%. Could it happen? Yes. You're seeing a MACD cross down on the strike line right here on the weekly. So let's go to the daily. What people were saying about the daily and what they were worried about daily was this big candle. This is called an engulfing candle. Go Google it. Look it up on Investopedia if you don't know what it is. It is a huge bearish signal. But what happened on Friday? We opened up at 436. We closed at 440. So I go to the 4 hour after looking at the daily, and I say, okay, where are we? There's that big candle in the morning. Well, the afternoon or in the afternoon of Thursday. In the morning, we had a good candle. In the afternoon on Friday, not a great candle. We opened up at 442. We closed at 440. So you were down. The trend wants to go down. I've said that this is the range that I believe that we're going to trade in. It's Wednesday. I believe, and the bulls of the bulls, Tom Lee, said he still thinks we're going positive. That's kind of the trend that I think. See, remember what you saw on the weekly, you saw the MACD way up there. You don't see the MACD way up there on the 4 hour. So in the short term, maybe it's just going to capitulate and we're going to continue up because, again, this market is very, very strong. Did you get your crypto? Did you get your Bitcoin under with the 60 handle? 60,000 handle? 68,000, 67,000, 65,000, whatever it was. Did you get it? If not, we're back up at 72,000. This article is really good. One that is continuing to move like it is crazy. And I've told you this before. This is a levered ETF on Bitcoin. This is MicroStrategy. And MicroStrategy is up 10% in pre-market, 10%. The algorithm got you out with a 240% gain. Algorithm makes you 693%. Versus buying and holding makes you 247%. You absolutely want to use a technical strategy when trading this. And if you want to use a technical strategy when trading this, I would suggest you get TrendSpider. TrendSpider, they have a sale, $74 per month, $892 per year. For the first time in a while, they are discounting 25% off the monthly. How do you get this? You go to Linktree, linktr.ee/dailystockpick, the top link right there. And then you email me. I send you my 4-hour algorithm. I send you my 65-minute algorithm. That is all included. You also get the watch list and the scanners that I do. So when I'm at an MLS event or when I'm taking off one day this week to do my taxes, which will happen, then you have your own scans and you have your own ability to do this. And you'll know when MicroStrategy says to get back in. It got you out. It hasn't gotten you back in, but look at how steep that sell-off is. Now, their earnings are coming up on April 29th. Don't expect anything crazy on this earnings other than, hey, we borrowed against our Bitcoin portfolio and we bought more Bitcoin at 70,000. That's all he's doing. That's all Michael Saylor's doing. So if you didn't get your Bitcoin, my suggestion, if you don't want Bitcoin outright, try and trade MicroStrategy. It is a levered ETF on Bitcoin. There's plenty of other levered ETFs, by the way, on Bitcoin. But here's the article that the Dow Futures trade cautiously. I mean, it's just, they're going to tread cautiously until Wednesday. Wednesday morning, you get Delta Airlines earnings, and then you have the CPI. That's it. Economists are expecting a slip in core inflation, 3.7 year over year, and a 0.3% monthly gain. Won't really feed expectations of a June hike much after last week's solid data dented them. Market expectations are drifting in favor of a cut in July rather than June. That's it. Tom Lee still thinks it's coming in June. Tom Lee's the bull. Tom Lee's the guy who's been right more than wrong. But this is a good article on that one. What do you want to look for this week? Earnings, they're all before the bell. And I hate trading earnings before the bell. But if you get up and you want to do some pre-market trading, you absolutely can. If you want to do it the night before, if you want to do it even today, you want to trade Delta. Delta's previous year, they made 25 cents per share. It's expected this year they will make 35 cents per share. 12.76 billion last year, 12.54 billion this year. That is a reduction. How is Delta's chart looking? I mean, this one popped last week for the past couple of weeks. Look, the algorithm has you in here at 38 and you're up at 46. How great is that? You make 64% in the 4-hour algorithm versus buy and hold is 22%. I always mention this. Do not buy and hold airlines. Warren Buffett got out of airlines and then they shot up. But these are more like banks and it trades on the price of oil. It trades on the price of travel. I can tell you, yesterday Atlanta Airport and Orlando Airport, absolute craziness. I would expect this. I mean, again, that earnings right there, that's a big jump from 25 cents to 35 cents. With the price of oil being down as low it is, I would expect that to be fine. Now on Thursday, we have Constellation Brands. Previous year, $1.98. Expected this year, $2.09. Only up by 0.1, 1 million or $100 million. $2 billion previous year. Expected 2.1 billion. That's it. Fastenal. Previous year, 52 cents. Expected this year, 53 cents. But an increase in their revenues. So you can trade the banks as well. JP Morgan. JP Morgan, previous year, $4.10. JP Morgan's chart is expecting them to blow this away. If you see a pullback on JP Morgan, you're able to buy it. I mean, honest to God, I don't know if I would buy it right now because I don't know enough about this bank. I also hate the fact that they hid Jeffrey Epstein. They basically managed his money knowing exactly what he was doing. That's the moral dilemma that I have in this one. But this one, best bank in the business. The algorithm makes you 17%, but buying and holding makes you 50%. This is a great, great bank. I don't own it. I probably own it in some ETFs. Wells Fargo, I do own. Previous year, $1.23. Expected $1.09. Those are reduced expectations. Reduced revenue expectations. They are down. So if Wells Fargo comes out and just blows things away, expect this stock to be up in the 60s. It's at 57 right now. The MACD is down. This is expected, again, to go down. So it's lowered expectations. But look at how many people are buying up in this area. This is setting up a nice volume shelf. If we go and we look at the weekly on this one, you have crossed the 200-day. You're up above it. And the weekly, the long term, this bank is trading in this range. You're looking at probably 60 at being a resistance. Now, there's a gap up here up to 63 that was put in way back in 2018. I don't expect it to be filled, but I do own this stock, and I continue to hold it. Progressive Insurance. Previous year, 65 cents. Expected this year, $2.74. This has been a monster of a stock. Insurance has just been able to... Insurance is part of the inflation talk. I mean, look at this stock. 157, the algorithm got you in. You're at $210. $210. That's just since the beginning of the year. And they have raised expectations. So, and then that BlackRock, shitty bank. I was mentioned, I wasn't calling it a shitty bank before, but shitty bank, they're not a bad bank. Previous year, they made $2.19. Expected $1.34. That's almost half of what they made. Reduced expectations. What does that mean? That means if the banks come in with anything positive, they're going to, they've got tough comps. But are they continuing to grow? Look at Citibank. $54. Algorithm makes you 26%, 21% if you buy and hold. This is a good bank. If you take a look at the weekly on this one, we've just gotten above the 50 the 200 period. So the 200 period was at 54. You've moved past it. I think there's significant resistance up here at 74 or 75. That's it. But I think you're getting there. I think this is a bank and a turnaround. Great earnings week. Again, this is a good earnings week. The big stuff starts next week. Citi's top recommended large cap stocks. This is great. I've told you, communication services. I love when they break it down by the spider sectors. In energy, Schlumberger. Financials, XLB. Financials, XLF. BK, LPLA. Healthcare. They say HCA Healthcare, Intuitive Surgical, Merck, XLI. They mentioned Delta Airlines. Quant rating buy. I mean, we can take a look at Delta. We talked about their earnings. Look, it's a strong buy on Wall Street. It's a quant rating buy, and the valuation isn't crazy. The growth is what's hindering them. You look, it's ranked number 5. SkyWest is number 1. United Airlines is number 4. So, again, read that article. That's a good article. Elon Musk said Tesla robotaxis on 8/8. I tweeted out, notice, there's no year there. I was at Tesla yesterday. I was, my buddy works there in Orlando. Shout out to the Orlando crew from Tesla. But robotaxis, remember, I went and saw the Cybertruck. Oh my God. I got to tell you, I've been down on Tesla. If you're able to ride in a Cybertruck, go and ride in one. This changed my mind about this company. Honest to God, it was, we just drove around the parking lot. It wasn't big, but the smoothness, the quietness, just the overall inside riding experience of the Cybertruck was amazing. Amazing. I'm ready to put my, $110,000 on the Founder Series right now. There's two things that will keep me from doing that. First, I just bought a new Model Y, so I don't need a Cybertruck. Second thing that will keep me from doing it is some of the engineering stuff I don't understand. Like, for instance, and this was pointed out by the Tesla crew, the back window in the Cybertruck is static and it's closed. And yet Tesla is selling a tent so that you can camp out in the back of the Cybertruck. Why would you have a camp mode in the Cybertruck if that window doesn't come down and you're selling a tent for the back of the Cybertruck? The point of being in that tent is to get the air conditioner and the air flowing so that you're not sleeping, or the heat, whether you're sleeping in the hot or cold. That's kind of the engineering thought process that I'm thinking, comes out with the second, third iteration. I bought the first iteration of the Model 3, still was going well, wanted to trade it in, so I got a Model Y. Now I love the Highland, the refreshed version of the Model 3. And I would have gotten it had it qualified for the 7,500. I am changing my mind about this company, but I want to point out, do not think that on August 8th that we're going to see a bunch of robo-taxis driving around. Full self-driving is not available as of yet. That's good enough to have a taxi drive without a driver. That's it. It's not good enough. From the announcement of the Model 3 to actually implementation, 5 years. The announcement of the Cybertruck to actual production, 5 years. The announcement on August 8th of this year means what? 2029. That's it. I mean, that's essentially what this means. He's going to announce it. He's going to hype it. Expect the hype to go on. But the reality is you will not get regulatory approval to do this. I can't see it. I can't see it happening. So expect this. Tesla stock, the earnings, it's going to be horrific. And I do tend to think that this is going back down to 150 before it's going to 200. So be careful with this one. Trade it on a short time frame. Take a look at it. But I do think that that's a bad one. Now, with his announcement of robotaxis, Uber and Lyft fall. And Uber is down slightly. It's not much, 1.78%. It's down at 75. I continue to say Uber under 80 is a buy. Look at this range that is putting in right here. The algorithm doesn't have you in. The announcement of the robotaxi is not good for Uber, although since Tesla will be licensing their full self-driving software, Uber could develop a vehicle, put the cameras on it, and then license out the vehicles. Again, pointing out, Uber's biggest cost are the drivers. If they get rid of the Uber and Lyft, if they get rid of the driver fee, and they can do local taxis for significantly less, boom. This one's $150 stock at that point. So, that food delivery, all of that stuff, they will figure out. Good companies with good products, with good management, and good earnings, that's what's going to happen with this one. And I believe in this one going forward. I do. I like this one. Tesla, I believe, is kind of the same thing. I like Tesla as well. take a look at it. TrendSpider put this out. Buying the lower Bollinger Band on NVIDIA has been extremely effective over the last 2 years. Entry, low of the day with 1%, within 1% of the Bollinger Band. Exit, 10% or minus 5%. 73% win rate. Average return, 6%. So we go over here to NVIDIA. And we just take a look. That's on the daily chart. I don't trade on the daily chart. I trade on my algorithm. You can take a look at what's actually going here. NVIDIA, we're up 0.29%. You're putting in this little form, you're trading within this. I do see this gap at 823. I don't know if it's going to hit that. Look at how far this MACD has gone down. That MACD has gone way down. The stock has gone from 950 to 800. Get it while it's in 800. What I am worried about is are the orders coming in. We will find out from SMCI, who reports before NVIDIA, whether NVIDIA is going to be a huge winner. And you're not going to know it. When SMCI reports, if they report a good quarter, NVIDIA is going to fly. If NVIDIA comes out with something and reports something about sales, SMCI is going to fly. Same, they kind of trade in line that way. If we just look at SMCI, you're seeing the same trading here. There's no difference in a lot of trading. SMCI, the algorithm has you out. Got you out April 4th with a 4% loss. Did I sell? No. I'm still holding this one. I probably should have sold when it broke 1,000 and just chalked it up to a loss. I'm going to add more. It's a small position in my retirement account. I am still holding SMCI in my brokerage account. Simple as that. I still believe in the company. I still think it's fine. But again, this strategy by TrendSpider is really good. All of these stocks hit 52-week highs at some point Friday. If you want the list, go and take a look at it. This weekend's paid newsletter, by the way, was all about the energy market, how to find a stock, the top winners in each category. Here's the top winners in energy, how to scroll down, how to find these stocks, how I found like 2 stocks to trade in, and then why Amazon is a buy, why Amazon is an absolute buy. So that paid newsletter, that if you want to pay for the newsletter, you can. If you don't want to, the weekly newsletter, it is Monday through Friday, is absolutely 100% free. Absolutely 100% free. So don't think that you have to pay to get my picks or anything like that. The weekend newsletters, the paid ones, they are just a good look for me to go over what I'm looking at, and it shares it out with the crew. So, but if you want all of these stocks, look at how many are energy. We've got Exxon, we've got Occidental, we've got Cummins, we've got ConocoPhillips, we got Diamondback. General Dynamics, more industrial, blah, 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 defense. We've got Marathon Petroleum. We have Marathon Oil. We have Phillips 66. We have Pioneer. We have Shell. We have Suncor. We have Valero. Again, energy has been on a tear. Okay, let's go to some of the social requests. Taryn from Spotify wants me to look at Caesars, CZR. For exposure to gaming and entertainment. I mean, does it get me excited? No. Does that stock chart look like, oh my God, we've got to invest in it? Vegas is at an all-time high. Caesars just hasn't gotten out of their own way. I don't know enough about the stock to say, hey, this is an absolute buy. But Caesars doesn't get me excited. I'm invested in DraftKings. I trade DraftKings. Exposure to gaming and entertainment. In my mind, I think, you pick a hotel. If you're staying at Caesars or playing at Caesars, you buy this. It's a hold in the quant. The momentum is just bad. I mean, everything else in this one is okay, but it's the momentum is bad. So I don't like it, Taryn. It doesn't get me excited. We look at this. Let's go over here. To FinViz, where you can see the average target price 58, you're at 42. Let's take a look down. The most recent initiated, JP Morgan, they have it at 65. Let's see if there's insiders. The director bought $621,000 worth. That's nothing. That's nothing. I mean, this guy bought it back in November at $41.90 as well. He bought it at $41.45. Yeah, I mean, Michael Pegram. These guys bought in 2023. There's nothing that's going on here. So it just doesn't get me excited. Do you want exposure to this one? You could. I mean, the PE is 11, forward PE of 18. That forward PE is pretty big. I mean, the expectations are pretty big. So maybe the stock will rise. You're 28% above below your 52-week high of 60. I like DraftKings. I mean, DraftKings is one that I think will pop. I think that's a better thing. Corey emailed me, or I don't know where this one came from. I am new to trading and started by listening to you. Thank you. I've invested in ARBE and was wondering your take on the stock. Welcome, Corey. ARBE. RB Robotics. Stock chart's messy. Algorithm loses you 67%. Buying and holding loses you 70%. Take a look at the weekly. I don't know why you would do this one. If you're new to investing, this makes no sense. Here, Corey. They are losing $43 million. Just go to finviz.com. It's free. You can look at it the same way. They are losing $43 million. They have $1.4 million of sales. Again, I say $1.4 million. That's not total like revenue. That's revenue. They're spending way more. Now, how much cash do they have? 57 cents. How many shares do they have? 77 million. That means they have somewhere in the neighborhood of what? 38 million, but they're losing 43. What they're going to do, Corey, is they're going to issue more shares. They're going to issue more bonds. They're going to dilute you as a shareholder. Now, I don't know anything about the future growth of this. The average target price is $3.20. Nobody's covered this since 2021. So I have no idea why you would buy into this one. If you want something that stocks that are good to buy, go to Savvy Trader. Go to my link tree, linktr.ee /daily stock pick. It's down below. Go down here and you'll see Savvy Trader. Follow my trades for free. There is a portfolio called the Core Portfolio. It is free to follow. Again, I reiterate, free to follow this portfolio. It is 35 names. You can take a look at this, and if we just compare it, and you compare it to QQQ, and you go 1 year, look at that. I mean, I started this on June, so it's not quite 1 year, but Core Portfolio is up 31%. NASDAQ is up 20%. So these are 35 names. ARBE is not in there. ARBE will never be in there. This is a hope and a dream. I would rather see you put your money in Bitcoin than ARBE. You will get a better return out of Bitcoin than ARBE. Again, I don't know the story of this one, but from a financial standpoint, that's a hope and a dream. John Newell, loving the show. Do you ever trade options or just buy shares of stocks? John, I only buy shares. I am too dumb to understand options. That's the simple truth of it. I mean, honest to God, I would love options. In fact, here on the newsletter, I recommend the Options Oracle, Edward Corona. This guy, a master, an absolute master of options. He is fantastic. So if you want to follow someone with options, Edward's the one to do it. I mean, Edward is he's been posting some of his trades, and it gives me FOMO. It gives me FOMO. Taylor from email, longtime listener, first-time requester, was curious on your take on Hershey's. And by the way, this is you'll see it in the newsletter, his email to me. Down roughly 28% from all-time highs due to GLP-1 concern, high cocoa prices, and lots of recent CapEx spend. It trades at a reasonable PE of 21, has an above 21's not a reasonable PE. A reasonable PE, remember the average for the S&P is around 17 or 18 historically. Has an above market, but today the PE is for the S&P is a little bit higher. So 21's not horrible. Just understand if the market is going to get into realistic terms, everything has to come down because we are at a high PE. But earnings have been growing, which means that you'll get a higher PE. Has an above market yield of 2.5%, operates in a mature market with no major competitive threats, and historically performs well after a down year or two. Thoughts on long-term entry point if GLP-1 hype is overblown and cocoa prices come down to earth? Also, I appreciate your passion for stocks. Thank you so much, Taylor. Let's take a look at Hershey's, because Hershey's has just been beaten down. And where are you going to go after this one? Well, on the 4-hour, algorithm has you out. Algorithm loses you 17%. You lose 12%. It's just a losing stock. I mean, that's the basis of this. Over 2 years, this has been a losing stock. So if we take a look at the 4-hour, it's kind of trading in this base. And the 200-day is moving down, but the 50-day has kind of moved sideways. And so you're seeing a little bit of move here. So in the short term, you kind of look at it and say, okay, maybe we've hit a bottom. Well, then you go to the weekly, and you see on the weekly, well, the 200 period has been providing support, but that 50-day is still moving negative. So we could still move negative. Now, what I always like to say is when the world was shut down in COVID, where were we trading? Because this stock, when the world was shut down with COVID, again, this stock was a $150 stock. What makes you think that today this company is significantly better than it was pre-pandemic? Because if you think they're making more money, then that will be reflected in the in some of the financials. But I don't think that they are. The valuation is still a D. The revisions are a D+. You've got the quant at a hold. If we go to the valuation and we look at the PEG, if you haven't seen my interview with Steve Kress from Seeking Alpha, I'll put it in the newsletter today. But he likes this PEG rating, and he loves to see, okay, how's it trading against the sector? This is in consumer staples, because the PEG it actually combines price to earnings and growth. And if you look at the forward PEG, they're at 3.12. The sector's at 2.19. Does this still have room to go down? Absolutely. It still has room to go down. The valuation is still expensive. It's still high. It's trading at a 20, but the sector's trading at an 18. Again, it's in consumer staples. This is rated number 38 of 53. Your number 1 is Lifeway Foods. Your number 2 is Vital Farms. Even Tyson Foods, which has been hammered of recent, has a good rating. I don't think that this is a stock that you want to get into. Now, here's the thing. What's a good entry point? I would say, and I've said this before, look at this green line. Now, this green line puts into some growth into this, but you can clearly see in September 2019 on the weekly, it was trading at about 162. That's what the high where it went to. And then here, the high right before COVID hit, 161. So it literally bounced off there, and then the world shut down and Hershey's went down. Now, while you say they have no major competitors, I do think they have competitors, and the competitors are off-the-shelf brands that are cheaper. I will give you for instance, I love chocolate. So Taylor, your boy here basically loves M&Ms. So it's Mars, it's not Hershey's. I don't know if Hershey's is part of Mars. I don't know exactly. But I love M&Ms. They have gotten so expensive that I have gone to buying Walmart semi-sweet chocolate chips. That's not Hershey's. I'm buying Walmart brand semi-sweet chocolate chips. I cut a little corner off on the end. So rather than paying $10 for candy bars or $11 for M&Ms, I'm paying $3.99 for a 2-pound bag of chocolate, and that does me fine. So Taylor, I'd probably look at that a little bit. My guess is that 150 is probably going to be a good point. But if they get their act together, and again, I don't think that they've gotten their act together, but if they get their act together, it might go up. Bullish Bites, what's up? Love for you to look at MPC, energy stocks up 100% in April. How much more can this thing run? MPC is Marathon Petroleum. I think this is the top stock in the S&P for the first quarter. Let's look at the value. I mean, look at this. The algorithm makes you 92%. Buying and holding this one makes you 156%. The 4-hour, you're in this trade. So far, you've got a 48% gain over 40 days. That's enormous. Look at how high this MACD is. The RSI is coming off an 88, and it's still at 75. That is overbought. This will continue to go up as long as oil supply is lower than the demand. If the demand is high and the supply is low, this one will continue to run. It trades on the price of oil. So how much higher does this have to go? I don't think you look at the stock price. I think you look at oil. And oil right now is still, energy is still a great trade. Now you take a look at this one. Look at this one in COVID. This was 57. You're at 217. The valuation on this one is extended. And I went over it in the paid newsletter. If you were to look at MPC and you were to say, hey, MPC, no, I don't want Mac. Autocorrect on this one. If you will look at MPC, well, this is how you use the tools like Seeking Alpha. And if you use my link tree and you sign up for Seeking Alpha, you get 20% off. It's $189 for a year. It is a fantastic, fantastic tool. And if we go over and we look at this, MPC is a hold. And the reason is valuation. You go to the valuation. Now, they don't have a growth because they just don't put it out. The sector is trading at a 1.19. So let's look at the PE. The PE on this one is trading at a 9.3. The forward PE is at 12. Sector median is at 11. So it's trading 7% above. That's just it. I mean, there's nothing more that you can do about that. It doesn't have a great dividend, decent dividend, safety, but the quant has it as a hold. So let's take a look. It's 3 out of 22. What's number 1? Sunoco. What's number 2? PARR. I will tell you, I did a little look at PARR. I like this one. I went over it in the paid newsletter. I like this one. Strong buy in the quant. So I would say you find something other than MPC that hasn't run as much. And we can look at PARR. It's run. Yes, it's run. But again, Steve Kress says, do not be afraid of 52-week highs. Do not be afraid of 52-week highs. There's a reason I put that $40 in there. To find out why, you'll have to sign up for the paid newsletter. If you're interested, again, the paid newsletter comes with a free 7-day trial, so you can do it. I just like to protect the people that have paid. So I'll just leave it at there. But Bullish Bites, I don't think you're afraid of MPC. I just think you want to find something that maybe hasn't run as much. And there's plenty of energy stocks that haven't run as much. Disembodiment from Reddit. ELF, buy the dip or take my gains and move on. Let's go look at ELF. Ulta got killed. Ulta got absolutely killed. I'm still holding Ulta. I was way in the green. Should have taken my gains. Didn't. ELF, same kind of thing. The algorithm had you in here at 207, got you out down here with a 5% loss. Algorithm makes you 287%. Buying and holding over 2 years makes you 535%. Now, again, remember, it's over 24 months. So you say, oh, how many times are you trading in 24 months? 19 positions makes you 287%. The reason you want to do this on some of these high flying stocks is because, yes, the algorithm underperforms, but there's a safety to this, okay? There's a safety to trading in that middle ground. There's this, say you lose sleep at night. Well, the algorithm's supposed to protect you from losing sleep. If you trade using the algorithm, you're okay. Here's what I would tell you, disembodiment with this stock. Could we go lower? Absolutely. We'll take a look at some of the valuation, but look at this 4 hour. It is going down, and you are super, super low on that MACD. You are using the 200-day as some type of support. Your 50-day still moving lower. Now, if we move this, let's see where people are holding, because if we move this to where we started this latest run from about 170 up to 200, where are people holding? Well, they're holding up here, and you're trading down here. Now, if we move this back to where we really started this run at 100, which was back in November, where are people holding? Well, we've broken through this one, but if you get below 155, then look out below. My suggestion, if you get below 155, sell. I don't know how many shares you hold, but $10 in a stock price, should not be a significant amount for you when you're trading at these levels. So I would say hold on. But if you get towards that 155, I would probably take profits. We can take a look at this one in Seeking Alpha just to see what they think about it. Seeking Alpha says it's a hold in the quant, and the reason is the valuation. Again, if we go to the valuation, I don't think that this one is a bad one. Look at the PEG. It's 1.52. That's 30% below the sector median. 30%. The sector is consumer staples, same as Hershey. You look at this one, and it's got Fs across the board, but the growth is supposed to be there. As long as they have projected the growth, and they've been right, Ulta said that beauty products are slowing down. This one's number 5. Again, Nature's Sunshine products, Coty, Glass Brands, Honest Company. We went over that one. ELF, 3.41. It's one of the worst ones there's other sectors that are good in the quant. In fact, let's look at Ulta, because Ulta is the one that I own. It's the largest beauty one. It's ranked 8 in the consumer discretionary. It's a hold as well. And if we go to the valuation, you can see it's a C instead of that. The PEG ratio, 1.69. It's not as good as ELF. ELF had an A. So product to growth, I mean, again, it's about which one you want. I would probably look at the technicals on this one, and I would say hold on to it. It's worth it until you get to that 155. And then that's when I would kind of, jump ship. It's oversold right now at 27 on the RSI. Orlando, Biogen, buy more on the dip, or could it be a falling knife? Can't find any reason for it being low. I believe this was a BIIB. I believe this was a COVID high. And many of these COVID stocks have just gotten down. So what we want to do is we want to take a look at the 4-hour. It has no confirmation. There's no reason to be in this one because you've been down. That 50-day, since the death cross has been going down, the 50-day never really got above the 200-day for very long at all. I may have bought this one, when it got that golden cross right there, but you weren't rewarded. The golden cross happened at about 251 when you were trading. The death cross happened when it was trading at 240. That would have been the signal to get out where it couldn't hold that. Again, on the 4-hour. If we go to the weekly and we look at this one, where was it trading around COVID? Well, here, it started to go up. It got up there high. It was trading at about $300 during COVID. Well, what's happened with this one? I don't even know, but it's the biopharma sector. I just don't know enough about it. But look, everybody's, Seeking Alpha analysts say sell. The PEG ratio, it's a B+ because it's trading 31% below. It's ranked 284 out of 506 stocks. I'd get out. Honest to God, I'd probably find something that has a chance to. What you want to do with remember, there's a great quote, and if I haven't said it in a while, but I'll say it again. It's from Peter Lynch, and Warren Buffett quoted it. Holding on to your losers is like watering your weeds, and getting rid of your winners is like cutting the weeds, and getting rid of your winners is like cutting the weeds. And then, holding on to your losers is like watering the weeds. It's something like that. But that's what you're doing. Orlando, you're just kind of holding on to a loser. I'd get out. AJP, is NVIDIA a buy? What's the target price? Come on. You're going to ask me a target price? Target price is whatever you're willing to pay for it. Don't look to people for target prices, AJ. Look to people for, some guidance, but make your own decision. Is NVIDIA a buy? Yes. I mean, honest to God, until somebody comes out with an AI chip that is as dominant as NVIDIA, NVIDIA's a buy. I mean, that's it. I bought more. Algorithm made you 71%. Doesn't have you in. The RSI is at 42. I've identified this level right here, 744 and then 691 as potential areas. But doesn't mean that you don't add to it up here. If you don't have exposure to it, AJ, buy it. And this is not one you trade. This is one you add to. Everybody's been asking, we've gone over this for a very long time. Down here at 171, is it a buy? Absolutely. Up here at 336, November 2021. Was it a buy? Absolutely. Was it a buy here at 271? Absolutely. Did it feel comfortable? No. Was it a buy here at 177? Yes. Yes. Look at here, 481. Was it a buy? Absolutely. Is it a buy up here? Most likely, yes. Do I know for sure? No. There ain't no target price, AJ. Just buy it. Paul from Facebook, can you give your thoughts on VERV? VRV, I think this is another biotech, yeah. It's selling at $8.50 after hours, and FinViz is calling it a $48 stock. So all I can find is do drop cholesterol study. I had a very small position with them and just added 125 shares on the dip. I mean, this is biotech. I don't know why you'd buy on the dip. There's a reason these go down on the dip. I mean, if we look at VERV, they're losing $200 million. They have $11 million of sales. So it's going to take a hell of a long time to make up $200 million on $11 million of sales. Shares outstanding, 81. They have cash on hand, $7, so $250 million. They're losing $200 million. And if they had a bad cholesterol study, that's even worse. So you can look at this article, Motley Fool. Is it a buy? Average target price, 36. But take a look at the dates of this. Take a look at the dates. Today, $15 price target from H.C. Wainwright. It's trading at what? $8.41. So it might be a good buy. You know, if we go over here to VERV into Seeking Alpha, VERV, it's a hold. I mean, 360 out of 506. There's better options out there. So, Paul, I don't know why you'd buy VERV. It must be a biotech one that you know a little bit more about, but I don't know biotech. I would say it just doesn't look good. I mean, honest to God, this just doesn't, that's not a stock that I would buy. I mean, were you happy that you bought it here at 37? Because at one time it traded at 12. I mean, again, if you want the home run pitch, I'm not looking at the home run pitch, but this core portfolio has a hell of a lot of home run pitches in big cap. You look at SMCI, you look at NVIDIA, you look at Meta, you look at Uber, you look at Amazon, you look at Qualcomm. I mean, again, these are huge, huge companies that have opportunities. So, Sam, I know you're working, but when you have a chance, would you mind looking at EA? I'm paper trading some stocks and kind of getting my kid into it. She wanted to look at EA. This is Electronic Arts. I play Madden every year. Honestly, I buy it for the freaking roster updates. That's it. Honestly, it doesn't look like it would be a terrible buy right now. Even though I personally don't like the company, the RSI is okay. I think it's on the pullback. Looking at it on FinViz, it seems to be an ascending pattern. We are paper trading it, but would love your thoughts on it. Thanks in advance. Here's EA. Where was it trade? I go back to COVID because pre-COVID, let's see. This was a $100 stock. Have video games created a 30% increase on this one? Remember, Activision Blizzard is now owned by Microsoft. Microsoft, console gaming is probably going away. They're probably going to more streaming type games. EA probably, again, this is the sports heavy one, and they have Call of Duty, I believe. Or that might be Activision. But I don't know enough about the video game space. I do play video games, but I'm not heavy into them. Let's take a look at EA on some of the valuation stuff. But the stock chart, it doesn't look good to me. I mean, it's just, look, this is the range that I identified back here in April of 2022. That's what it hasn't gotten out of that range. I mean, if we just drag this over, look, it hasn't gotten out of that range. So if you want to paper trade it at 130, you'll probably get a pop up to 143 at some point. But, is it likely to go down to 117? You don't have confirmation. I mean, I don't see it having huge uptick from here. You can see this is 143, and it's just come down. So the MACD's down there. They have earnings coming out later in May, so it might be a good one. We can look at Electronic Arts here. It's a hold in the quant. It's got a valuation F. Why does it have a valuation of F? Well, you look at the PEG forward. It's trading 33% above the sector. Again, this is communication services. This has been a big winner, the communication services this year. Hua is number one. Hua. Ubisoft, Nintendo, C Limited. This one, I believe, has a cross-up today. So Roblox is in this. They're down at 16. But I like Roblox to actually get back to 40 more than I like EA to get out of that range. If you look at Roblox in the charting on Roblox, it's at 38. I mean, we've talked about this range. This is below the range, and I think you get back up to this range. So you have to kind of pick and choose, Sam. EA, I'm a big fan of Madden and the sports games. The stock, I've never owned it. I've never traded it. Dex wants me to look at AppLove, and I love this company. This is one you just buy. We talked about how this was in a range and it broke out and it's gone for the fences. And you can see, even though it's continued up, look at how massively the MACD has dipped down and the RSI has dipped down on that. On a weekly, you've got this one's just running. It doesn't have a 200-day, and it's not old enough, but that 50 days moving positive, this is an absolute home run stock. This is playing in the information technology. Strong buy. Strong buy. I love it. Dex, buy more of it. Mork, M-O-O-R-K, wants me to look at Workhorse. Get rid of it. Just get rid of it. This is a $0 company. It's trading at 21 cents. It is worth less than 21 cents. It is, I mean, honestly, there's no reason to be in this. Look at that 1 year. There's no, Mork, you can trade it. You can trade it on the 65-minute. Like today, it's up 1.36%. That's less than a penny, 0.2 of a penny. You can trade it. Good luck in getting those, those orders through. It's junk. If you have a chance, if you're holding it and you have a chance to get out, get out. It's going to zero. It's going to zero. Chia wants me to look at Snowflake. Great company. The new CEO, I think, is going to be better than the old CEO. It's a hold in the quant. The valuation is F. I've said this before. This will be a $200 stock again. Look at the PEG. It's 4.84. It's trading 148% above it. The valuation is the only problem. Now, as far as this one goes, and I'll show it to you again, it's between 150 and 200. That's where you trade this. And this is just a buying opportunity. Algorithm loses you 63%. You lose 26% when buying and holding. Are you buying at 154? I'm going to add to it. And the reason I'm going to add to it is because this constantly pops to 200. You can see this range. This is the range I like to trade this in. I bought up here at, I think, 170, 180, and I'm going to buy more down here at 152. It's in a retirement account. It's cash that I don't need. It's a stock that constantly just goes down to the 120s, 130s, and goes back up. Now, am I worried, am I waiting for the 130s or 140s? No. The reason it is because I want to be in the stock when it pops to 200. Now, when it pops to 200, I'll start trimming it. So, Chia, that's how you trade that one. Lamar wants me to look at gold. I'm not good at gold. I don't believe in gold. Gold is a store of value. Gold soars. And miners lag. Why I'm very bullish on GDX breakout. Read this article, Lamar. Just read the article. I'm not a big believer in gold because I believe that it's just a store of value. So what a store of value means is, hey, I'm going to buy gold because the government is printing a ton of money and the actual gold is going to be worth more because as you print money on the gold standard per se, there's no more gold that can be printed. It's kind of like Bitcoin. There's no more Bitcoin that can be printed, at a certain point. That's what the halving's all about. Understand, I'm not a big fan of gold. Lamar, if you get, there's other people, I just don't know enough about it, but I've never held gold. I've never traded gold. I don't know anything about gold, but I found this article, Gold Soars, Miners Lag, why I'm fairly bullish on. So read the newsletter. That's the best one. Alberto wants me to go over Starbucks. Starbucks, I'm a fan of Starbucks, just China hasn't come back. And I've said it before, there's a weekly trend that we look at. But you look at this one, and the algorithm, it loses you 11%. Buying and holding makes you 5%. But this has been a loser of recent. I think you can buy it under 100 and it gets back to over 100. The problem is this company can't get out of its own way. With China in particular, they're just not seeing the growth, and that's where you're getting dinged. And you're down below this range that I thought it would hold. I think your next support level is about 84. If you break 84, look out below because you're probably going down to the 70s. And is that horrible? No, look, you were there before and you've gotten the death cross on the weekly. There's no current hope of this one. You don't want to time this. For instance, you don't want to buy, here at 87 saying that, oh my God, this has got to turn around. It just hit the 200 day. No, because it doesn't have confirmation. You want to wait for it to have confirmation. Now, buying here at 78, not bad. You did dip down to the 60s, so you didn't feel comfortable buying at 78 because you lost money in the short term. But in the long term, you've made money because you found confirmation again. Make sure that you understand where the confirmation is. That's what you want to look at. So Starbucks, I don't think it's a bad one. Again, it's more about the growth with Starbucks. You can see the PEG ratio, the forward PEG ratio, they're trading 12% below what the sector median is. This is, again, consumer discretionary in the markets. We talked about Alpha Picks. Alpha Picks' most recent one is EAT. That's their Brinker International. Look at these ones compared to Starbucks. And if we look at EAT here on the chart, I mean, this is a whole different category right here. Look at this. I mean, you look at the most recent on EAT, and then we go back to the weekly. Look at this one versus Starbucks. This is a pretty strong move. Pretty strong move here. Starbucks doesn't have a move. I'd rather see you in EAT. And again, if you're interested, Alpha Picks, you get all of this. Look at this return, 130%, versus 37% on the S&P. My coupon here saves you $50, $449. What do you get with this? You get, all of these analysis, you get access to the portfolio. This is portfolio. You get access to all the performance of each portfolio. And then if you want to hit about, you can hit about. How can new subscribers get going with Alpha Picks? They give you strategies. Buy at least 5 of them. Buy the entire portfolio using the portfolio tab. Use Alpha Picks as an idea generation. It is worth the $449. If you are new to actually looking at the analysis of a stock, this is absolutely perfect. And Steve does a great job, and his team do a great job with their webinars of teaching you how to look at stocks. And that's what Alpha Picks is. And again, remember, there's 3 tools that I recommend, really 4, but 3 main ones: TrendSpider, Seeking Alpha Premium, and Alpha Picks. The 4th one is Webull, because if you don't, can trade on your mobile phone, Webull has the best trading app in my mind. Those are I'm caught up on all your social requests. So let's go over some of the scans today. If you don't know, these are the stocks that are showing bullish tendencies in my 4-hour algorithm. Lilly on it got you in at 782.51. 782.51. Look at where the MACD is. 782.51. Is that a high price? I mean, let's go over and let's look at Lilly here in the Seeking Alpha. I think it's a hold. Yeah, the valuation. I mean, the valuation is but the gap, again, the forward gap, it's trading 1% below the sector median. This is healthcare. Is it overvalued? Not if you're, again, the PE is crazy. 124 versus the sector median at 18. That's an F. That's an obvious F. Now, even their forward looking is at 63. But if you factor in the growth with their GLP-1, this might be a good one. We talked about, SE, C Limited, when we looked at EA. Look at C Limited here in the 4-hour, 55.07. Is this a good one? Well, we'd go and take a look at the weekly. Look, you're starting your way back. Is this a good one? Well, we can go over here to Seeking Alpha and we can look at C Limited. How does C Limited look? It's a hold in the quant, the valuation. They don't give forward guidance on their growth, but it is a high PE. But everything else is fine. The growth is an F. You look at that's because their CapEx year over year, they're down 37%. It's number 6 out of 20. What's number 1? Hua. So again, this one's showing bullish tendency in the 4-hour algorithm. The 4-hour algorithm loses you 14%. Over 2 years, you lose 53%. So it beats buy and hold by a large part. XPEV. This is a Chinese EV company. They are eating Tesla's lunch as far as not SPEV. It's XPEV. They're eating Tesla's lunch in China. I mean, just all of the Chinese car companies are doing this. Now, do you want to get into this one? Algorithm loses you 42%, which is half of what you lose with buying and hold at 73%. So your average win is 22%. The only problem is you win 27% of the time. So 27%. You're 200 days moving negative. You're 50 days moving negative. This is almost like trying to time the bottom on these kinds of things. But XPEV is one. DraftKings, we talked about that I like DraftKings instead of Caesars. DraftKings, it has you in at 47.17. You're trading at 45.93. This one, the algorithm makes you 128%. Buying and holding 24 months, you made 171%. Your average win in the algorithm is 21%. Is this a winner? I don't know. I mean, again, if they announce earnings, if they announce that they're cash flow positive here on May 2nd, you're going to see this one probably a 60. And is that out of the realm of possibility? No, because look at September 2021. It was at 60. So again, if they announce, look at how positive that's going. You're getting the golden cross on the weekly. The 4-hour algorithm has you in. Is it too much? I don't think so. I may be buying more. Travelers, TRV. This is a insurance company. We talked about, I think, Progressive being having their earnings this week. Travelers, look at this. Algorithm makes me do 13%. You make 25% buying and holding. So, and BKR. This is the Baker Hughes company. This is one that also has a nice little golden cross here on the 4-hour. Had you in at 28. This is just another bullish uptick in this one. RSI is a little bit overbought. You've got earnings coming out April 23rd, but you had a golden cross. How does it look on the long term? Well, it looks like it's just above the 50-day. So could you get back to this 38, 39? Yeah, that's where it's looking like it's going. Look at how low that MACD is on the weekly. Does it have more room to go? Absolutely. So again, if you want anything, it's all on my link tree. linktr.ee/daily stock pick. You got TrendSpider. You got Seeking Alpha Premium. You've got Alpha Picks. And you've got Webull. All the links are there. I kind of took you through all of the social media requests. You see how I look at stocks. You see how I look at this stuff. If you have any questions, hit me up. On the link tree, there's also all the social stuff here, so you can hit me up. Okay, take care. See you. Bye. Oh. Ammer, those are, let me just stretch. Man, that's exhausting going through all that stuff. Amazon, I think it's at 186 now. Is it 186? 185. I think you're running up against that 188. So, Ammer, am I adding to it here? I already have significant, and we're talking significant. I think this is number 3 in my portfolio. It might be number 2. I'm not sure exactly which. Amazon and Microsoft kind of go counterbalance each other, and they bounce back and forth. You're running up against that 188. So is it a buy at this price? Yes. Is it smart to buy before Wednesday? No. I mean, you've got the golden cross there on the weekly. You're button up. Old resistance, which that 188 is, turns into new support. At some point in time, that's the support. So is it smart? If you don't have exposure, I would get it. I mean, but am I selling it here because it's bouncing up against 188? No. With that golden cross, I look at 188 as being the new support. Am I buying before Wednesday? No. But I don't know your portfolio. I don't know your risk tolerance. I don't know exactly. But for me, I'm not doing much of anything before Wednesday. In fact, remember, I sold out of my Webull stuff. I haven't added a damn thing in Webull. And I'm not doing it before Wednesday. So that's my strategy. And I feel very uncomfortable with people following my strategy because this could be a $220 stock by this time next week. So, and I will have participated in that 220. Now, if we go back down to 140, am I buying more? Hell yeah, I'm buying more. I mean, you look, I bought Costco at $730. Probably not smart, but it wasn't a big buy. They raised their price and boom, we got a $800 stock here back again. So, yeah, nobody's holding it at that $800 level. Let's see. Let's pull it back. Let's pull it to the highs to see where people are holding. Because that was right on earnings. Let's pull it back one day before. You still have a bunch of people holding at that 780 level here. But, again, this one, you've got a lot of people holding at that 725 to 730 range. Morning, Mike. Are you planning to play SMCI this month? I bought more. I bought more. Yeah, and Chris, I think I know my algo, the 4-hour algo, is kind of turning around stuff. Stocks that have been working have been turning over. Stocks like Roblox, which haven't been working, it's kind of going up a little bit. But I haven't found a true thing. Okay, it's 10:20. I got to run. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow.